Hello, I welcome you all to today's lesson. This is a new lesson which we are starting. This is linear programming. So even as we start, this is our lesson 1. So this is our lesson 1. Even as we start this, I want you to understand each and every concept that I'm going to teach you. So these are the basics. These are the things that you're supposed to know even as you enter an exam. So to give you a background on this topic is that linear programming comes in both paper 1. You're going to find linear programming in paper 1 and in paper 2. So linear programming paper 1 carries 5 marks. It doesn't miss in an exam. Linear programming paper 2, it carries 12 marks. Just linear programming. So even as we are studying this topic, I want you to know the marks that we are talking about. So even as we start this, I want you to understand linear programming, understand the marks it carries, and understand the concept itself. So you know that once you understand linear programming, 5 marks in paper 1, they are waiting for you. 12 marks paper 2, they are waiting for you. Altogether, we are talking about 17 marks. So these are a lot of marks. People get a 0 out of a paper. Is it paper 1, paper 2, like that? So I want you to understand this. Even as we get to deal with this, I want you to get and understand the concept itself. So we are going to start with linear programming that comes in paper 1 and it carries 5 marks. So even as we get to deal with this, one thing you need to know is that when you are given a dotted line, I'll start with this. Whenever you are given a dotted line like that, the inequality that we are talking about, so make sure you've bought yourself a book where you are writing these things down, not on a piece of paper. I always say this, don't write on a piece of paper for certain reasons. There's a reason why I always tell you this. So follow my instructions. Buy yourself a book if you don't have a book, a new book. If you are learning chemistry, physics, and mathematics with me, which means you need to buy 3 books. You need to have 3 books. Each book is approximately 20 kwacha. A 60 kwacha can help you. So just a 60 kwacha, you get yourself 3 books. These are the same books that you'll be using until you write your exams. So you can't tell me that when you waste a 60 kwacha, you've wasted the lot of money. No. So make sure you buy yourself the 3 books. If you are only having mathematics, 1 book is enough. So when you see a dotted line like this, so this is what? A dotted line. I want you to get this. This is a dotted line. So what does a dotted line mean? A dotted line means this is less than. This is the symbol for less than. So what is this symbol? Maybe someone doesn't know. This symbol is less than. You may have this other symbol. What is the name of that symbol? Greater than. So these are the symbols that you need to know. This symbol, so we either use this one or this other one. So whenever you see a dotted line, the inequality that you are supposed to get should be a dotted line or a dotted line. When it is a dotted line, we are supposed to use these inequalities. These are called inequalities. So when we are talking about linear programming, we are just talking about inequalities. So here we are just, the main thing that we are really talking about is inequalities. This is what we are just talking about. We'll just be talking about inequalities. So inequalities, whenever you hear the word an inequality, we are talking about these symbols. These are the symbols that we are talking about. We've got these symbols. These are called, this is an equality. This is also an inequality. So this is what we are really talking about. When you see a dotted line, just know that you either use the less than or the greater than symbol. This is less than, this is greater than. Make sure you know these symbols if you don't know them. I proceed now. I look at a solid line. We've got a solid line. This is a solid line. So whenever you've got a solid line is like this. This is called a solid line. So I'll say this is a what? A solid line. This is a solid line. So whenever you have a solid line, the inequality we use this inequality. This is an inequality. What is the name of this inequality? This is greater than, this is less than. This inequality is less than, so less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. Then you say, oh, we've got this other inequality. This is what? Greater than. This is greater than. So I want you to know this. Greater than or equal to. So these are the inequalities that you need to know. These are the inequalities that you need to apply. So these are the two things that you need to know. These are the two things that you need to get. We've got a dotted line. This is a dotted line. The other name for a dotted line, we call it a broken line. Then we also have a solid line. So this is a solid line. This is a solid line. Whenever you are having a solid line, you are supposed to use either this inequality or this other inequality. So hope you are getting what I'm saying. I want you to understand this. So once you understand this topic will be simple to you. It won't be that difficult. So make sure you understand these basics that we are doing. You understand the foundation that I'm telling you here. So okay, we proceed now. Let us now look at an example. Let us look at an example. We look at a simple example. So I want you to look at this example. This is an example. This is a simple example that we are going to do here. So you know that this is X or Y plane. This is the X axis. Then this is the Y axis, like this. So this is the X or Y plane. So let's say you are having here, these are numbers 2, 4, 6. Here 2, 4, 6, 8. You are given something like this. This is what you are having. So there is a dotted line here passing through here. This is a dotted line passing through here. Then we also have a solid line like this. This is a solid line passing through what? 8. So I'll do this, passing through this like this. So I've written two lines here. We've got this is in the X, in the Y axis. This is in the what? Y axis. This is passing through the Y axis. It is cutting the Y axis. So then you want to write the inequalities of these two lines. So how can you know that the inequality of this line is like this, or the inequality of this line is like this? So let's start with this one. This is cutting the what? It is cutting the what? It is cutting the what? Have you seen? It is cutting the x-axis. This is the x-axis. This one is cutting the x-axis. Since it is cutting the x-axis, you are going to say that this is what you are going to say. So let me reduce this. This is what you are going to say. This one is cutting the x-axis. So it is x is equal to what? 8. It is passing through 8 in the x-axis. Have you seen? So this thing which I've written here, this is the boundary line of this axis. So have you seen? X is equal to 8. It is cutting through what? 8. And it is in the x-axis. It is cutting the x-axis. This is the axis. It is cutting the x-axis. This is the x-axis. Like that. So now, with this, then we now have this is a what? This is a solid line. Are you able to see this? This is a what? This is a solid line. Isn't it? This is a solid line. So according to what we've discussed, we've agreed together that when it is a solid line, we are supposed to use this one or this other one. So this is great, this is less than, this symbol is less than, this other symbol is greater. So this is less than or equal to. This is greater than or equal to, I've written down here. So this is less than or equal to. This is greater than or equal to. Don't forget or equal to. So when I say less than, you know the symbol to use. Less than, it is just this symbol. When I say greater than, these are the symbols. But when I say less than or equal to, this is the symbol. When I say greater than or equal to, this is the symbol. This is what you need to know and understand. Now, we are talking about this line. So, have you seen this line? So, we are going to use this one or that one. So, how can you know that on this question you are supposed to use this one? This is what you need to do. So, you are going to do this. Have you seen here, from here, have you seen what is happening? Have you seen what is happening? 2, 4, 6, 8. Numbers are doing what? So here, the 10 was supposed to be here. The 10 was supposed to be there. So what is happening? Are you able to predict what is happening? What is happening? Have you seen? This side numbers are increasing, isn't it? 10, 12 is here, 13. So this side numbers are increasing. This other side, when you, from this point, start going this side, you discover that the numbers are reducing. But when you start going this other side, numbers are increasing. So the part where numbers are increasing, it is called greater than. Then the part where numbers are reducing, it is called less than. So let's say, since we are talking about inequalities, let us shade this part. Let us shade this part. This is the part that we are going to shade. Have you seen the part that I've shaded? This is the part that I've shaded. So this part that I've shaded which part? The greater part, where numbers are doing what? Increasing. So this is the part where numbers are increasing. You're supposed to get a part where numbers are reducing. The opposite. So they have shaded the greater than. So it's supposed to get the less than. So less than. So x is less than or equal to 8. This is the inequality. You've answered. So let me now go to this one. So here there is what? Let me shade this part. Let me shade this part. So in this case, this other question, I'll shade that other part like this. So we've agreed that this line here, this one here, it is x less than or equal to 8. We've answered together. We've agreed on that. Let us now look at this other one. So these are the basics. So I just want you to understand this. I just want you to understand this. So if you have understood this, well and good. This one, it is cutting what? This is the what? The y-axis. This is the y-axis. How did I know that this is the y-axis? Have you seen where the 0 is? Where the x-axis and the y-axis meet. Have you seen this one? Where they are meeting, we are having a 0 here. So this is where a 0 is. So this one is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. So this line is, it is cutting the what? It is cutting the y-axis. So I'll say y is equal to, where is it cutting the y-axis? At 4. So I say y is equal to what? Y is equal to 4. Then which part have they shaded? They have shaded the down part. Have you seen the part which they have shaded? They have shaded a down part. This is the down part they have shaded. So if you check, if you start going that side, numbers are doing what? Increasing. This other side, numbers are doing what? Reducing. Their numbers are increasing. When you start going, their numbers are doing what? Numbers are increasing. Here numbers are reducing. Down here numbers are reducing. So even if you've got negative 10 there, numbers are reducing. So the part that you need to consider now, it is the part which they have not shaded. So they have shaded the part where numbers are reducing. So you need to get the opposite where numbers are increasing. Here this region going on top, numbers are increasing. They haven't shaded that. So we say y is greater than or equal to 4. First you need to do that. Second you do that. So this is what you need to do. So I've answered. So if I'm told to write the two inequalities, this is what I'm supposed to do. Have you seen? This is what I'm supposed to do, just like this. This is the foundation. I just want to make sure that we all understand this. So if where you are coming from, you've rent this, and it is simple to you, which is fine. But we've got other people that don't know anything on this. So I just want to make sure that we all understand. That's why I'm taking my time explaining this. Let us look at example 2. So example 2 is our final example. Then I give you an exercise. I see how we are going to perform. I see how we are going to perform. So this is the question. This is the question, example 2. Write the two inequalities. Write the two inequalities shown below. Write the two inequalities shown below. This is our example 2. So I'll do this. This is the x-axis, y-axis. So 2, 4, 6, 0, 2, 4. Negative 2, negative 4, negative 6. Negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, like that. So this is the part that we are doing, and this is the part we want to do. So let's say this is the part. This is the part. I've shaded the down part. We are also having this one passing through there. That is a 6 there. I've shaded this part. So this is how it is. So now the question was telling us we write the two inequalities. So write the two inequalities shown below. How can we write the two inequalities which are shown? How can we write the two inequalities? What we are going to do is this. This is what you are going to do. You are having, I'll start with this one. You can name them the way you want. So I'll say this is 1. This is my 1. Then this one here, this one will be my 2. So this is my inequality 1. So inequality 1, where is it cutting? It is cutting the what? The x-axis. At x is equal to what? 6. So just say x is equal to 6. It is cutting the x-axis. At x is equal to 6 here, this is where it is passing. There is a 6. Then which part have they shaded? This part where numbers are reducing. This part numbers are increasing. So remember, which one are you supposed to use? Which one are you supposed to use? So which one are you going to use? So the one that we are going to use, this is the what? So just on, I've just remembered something on the first example that I'm from doing. The example that I'm from doing, I said that if a line is dotted, so as you can see, that other line was a dotted, so you're supposed to use this one or that one. So correct that. The first one, I've just remembered something, so I was so fast on that. So if it is dotted, I told you that this is what is agreed. You are supposed to use these ones. So if you remember, the one which I used was not supposed to be there. So correct it, remove the thing which I had put down, remove it. It's supposed to be less than or greater than. Okay, so this one, this is a solid. So a solid, you know that I'll use this one or this other one. So I'll use one of these two. So they have shaded the part where numbers are reducing. So I get this side where numbers are increasing. So it's x greater than or equal to 6. This is the inquiry. I'm done. Have you seen? Just like this, I'm done. So here, they've shaded this part. This means this whole part here is shaded. But if we shade this whole thing, we are going to, the graph will be so dirty. So just like this, showing you that this whole part here is shaded. So they've shaded where numbers are reducing here. But here numbers are increasing. Concentration is on the x-axis. Don't say there is a 4 here numbers there. No, the concentration is on the x-axis. Here numbers are reducing. This side numbers are increasing. So we get a part which they have not shaded, where numbers are increasing, this part. So I've answered the first one. I move to this one here. This one here, the first thing that should come to your mind. So the first thing that should come to your mind, is that this is a dotted. So you are going to use this one or that one. So you are going to use either one of the two. So here it is cutting the what? This is the y-axis. It is cutting the y-axis. Y at y is cos what? -4. Don't forget the negatives. At -4. At -4 here. -4. So now you say on this part now, which part have they shaded? Here, the down part. Have you seen? So down part, this is down. If you check here, this one, you're going to have -8. So numbers are reducing here. This is -8. We've got a 2. -2 is bigger than -8. So here numbers are reducing. Going down, numbers are reducing. Up, numbers are increasing. So the part which they have not shaded is the upper part. So it is what? Greater. So you say y greater than -4. Is it to put this one? No, because it is a dotted, so I love this. Have you seen? Like this. So like this. So the first example that I did, correct that. So this is what we are supposed to do. If it is a dotted, you're supposed to use this one or that one. If it is a solid, you're supposed to use this one or that one. So this is where we are going to end from today. Let me now give you a question. I see how you are going to practice just on this which we've covered today. I'll give you a question. I see how you are going to do it. So the work should be submitted before 21 hours. So if you submit after 21 hours, I'm not considering your work. So I want you to work with time. This is a simple work. And like I always tell you, don't share these videos with anyone that is not under my teachings. These are private lessons. So I get to upload them privately. You can only access it if I forward you the link, which I've done in the group. If I haven't forwarded the link, then no one can see it. Even if you search it on YouTube, you can't find it. So these lessons are meant for us. Let's make sure that we follow what I'm saying. You don't share them to any person. So this is what we've done today. This is the first lesson under this. So let me test you now. I see if we've understood this.